At first glance, Lazarus is just another story about a genius mad scientist trying to kill everyone, but then you look at the credits and you look at the director and what is the Cowboy Bebop guy? First episode sets the stakes. There's this dude called Skinner who is supposed to be the next Einstein. He creates a cure-all drug that cures everything. Only it turns out that Skinner has apparently gone over to the dark side, and now the miracle cure-all drug that was gonna cure everyone is actually gonna kill everyone within 30 days. Skinner makes the announcement that they can either find where he is within those 30 days or basically get fucked. The NSA assembles a gang of apparently homeless criminals to go find Skinner. Axel, a dude who started out with a 3-year sentence and is now serving an 888-year sentence, because in this world, every escaped attempt doubles your sentence. I didn't do the math on that. Feel free to do it on your own time. What I can say is that Axel is not very bright. What he is, however, is 20 gymnasts and calisthenics guys packed into one. He also has adamantium bones because we see him walk away from like 20-foot drops like it's nothing multiple times throughout the show. Up next we got Doug. All we know about him is that he's a researcher and apparently he punched the shit out of his professor for being a racist asshole. Good on you, Doug. We have Leland Astor, a rich 16-year-old with daddy issues. Elena, one of the best hackers in the world. And finally, Christina Blake, a KGB defector. So we have a crew of ragtag miscreants going out on episodic adventures together. Does this remind you of any anime that might also be famous? The gang follows Skinner's footsteps, all according to Skinner's plan, because he wants them to see what he sees and how the world could possibly be a better place without human beings in it. It's a simple concept that sometimes comes off beautifully here. But as you will unfortunately see, that's not very often, and ultimately, after a bunch of unnecessary shenanigans that we will get to later, believe that, the gang ends up apprehending Skinner on the final day of the 30-day challenge. Skinner himself was about to die of the cure-all drug, Hapna, and in a gesture of great martyrdom decides not to take the cure himself and instead just cough up the cure just before he croaks. The end of the story. That's the plot wrapped up nicely. On a side note, when the gang does find Skinner, there's 0 days left in his warning, and Skinner does not hand them a cure. He hands them the formula for the cure. So how they mass distribute it before lots and lots of people die is beyond me. Oh, not only this, they also do not rush to get the cure to a lab, instead just wasting time aura farming on the beach, which, what are you doing? Anyway, it's supposed to be a pretty simple story, told excellently and with great action sequences, with the guy from John Wick directing them. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, I'm gonna address it. Don't click off the video. The anime is inspired by Cowboy Bebop. You can see it in everything from the setting to the cat to the title card that appears on screen. Now, I think even the font is the same as Cowboy Bebop's, but where the similarities end, the problems begin, and that's where the similarities end. Now, this might surprise the 5 regular viewers of the channel, but I'm usually not a fan of derivative garbage being mass-produced out of a masterpiece, so I wasn't really expecting or hoping for more Cowboy Bebop. But I really think this would have benefited from being more like Cowboy Bebop. Confused yet? Good. It brings me neatly onto the... Remember when I said it sounds like a simple but well-done story? Well, I lied. This story tries so hard to be so fucking convoluted in 13 episodes that it really blows my mind that Watanabe approved any of this. Cowboy Bebop was a slow, almost romantic, episodic story with some twists told over 26 episodes. I get that that might be too slow for some people. Zoomer attention spans aren't exactly getting bigger. And I understand why you might want to increase the pacing, but cutting the episode number in half would have been enough, man. You don't also need to insert 5 different plot lines in there. Some character development is fine over 13 episodes, but we have entire episodes devoted to a few side characters, which also would have been fine if the episode didn't fucking suck. But they all are boring as fuck. So here's some of the plot lines they introduced last minute. There's a whole separate thing that's introduced last minute about the military developing a secret weapon based on Skinner's research, because thankfully our protagonist's handlers happen to stumble upon security footage from a supposed terrorist attack. And apparently that's also why Skinner decided to literally commit mass genocide, because then they can't ignore it. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like there's plenty of viable options before mass genocide. Unless you're Israeli, of course, then it's your only and first option. That's not relevant to the story. I just don't like the genocidal state of Israel. Anyway, at one point in the story, the US Army decides to send a super secret assassin, Soryu, from a super secret training program to kill Axel, because Axel is apparently the only witness for other shady shit the US Army was doing. This super secret assassin is Chinese and was trained in a super secret training program where they were taught to be emotionless monsters since they were kids and blah blah blah, until he fights Axel and is just about to kill him but I'm not kidding. This fucking locket Axel happens to be wearing is the wing of Hundun. And the program the assassin was trained in was also called Project Hundun. Oh my. Now, this might sound stupid because the way it's done, but this was actually something that could have been great if it was fleshed out properly. All of that happens, the introduction to the assassin, his lore, the fight itself, over the course of 2 episodes. Comparing this to Cowboy Bebop is practically a sin. And that goes for all of Lazarus, to be honest. It's a more sped up, surface level rendition of Cowboy Bebop. Axel is a more surface level version of Spike. They have similar moves, but he has none of the charisma Spike does. He seems to be trying to imitate it, kind of like Lazarus is trying to imitate Cowboy Bebop. And honestly, this makes me kind of sad because, like I said, I was not expecting more Cowboy Bebop. I was expecting another original story told with the same organic vibe as Cowboy Bebop, but instead we got a Zoomer Brain catering action fest. Well, at least the action is pretty decent. I mean, the guy from John Wick is directing it, so it kind of had to be. The music is forgettable. There's no Bad Dog, no Biscuit here. Honestly, the only good track of the anime was the final one, and it was alright. And speaking of the end of the anime, this is near the end of the video, so let me talk about my... At the end of the day, Lazarus is not bad by any means. It has a decent story, decent characters, and pretty good animation. I'm gonna mention how great the action scenes are again, really. If you're into fast-paced anime, hand-to-hand combat, you should watch it just for that. But that's all it is. A 7 out of 10 anime in a world full of derivative, safe 7 out of 10 anime. I was expecting more from this, and maybe that's why I feel a little let down. Because all in all, for the most part, the story had me engaged when I was watching. Except for the episode where Christina gets kidnapped. That episode I literally just dozed off. Seriously, this story could have used less plot lines. Also, there's a bunch of plot holes, and obvious ones too, like they sit right in front of Skinner in a homeless shelter they're investigating in episode 3. He's wearing a beanie, sunglasses, and an overcoat, which is already suspicious as fuck, somebody trying to hide their identity, but his white hair is literally spinning out of his beanie. Whole time, I'm screaming at my laptop that there he is, arrest him, save humanity, but our protagonists go legally blind for the episode. Oh well, we'll keep waiting for the next great anime. Goodbye, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.